Hello, friends and family, and welcome to the 2023 Discraft's Great Lakes Open, presented by Grip 6. Coverage brought to you by Run Productions. My name is Holyn Handley.
And I'm Raven Klein. Hope you're ready for some disc golf today.
We are here at the Toboggan course in the Kensington Metro Park in Milford, Michigan.
Yes, it's actually a beautiful little town. I really enjoy the downtown area. We were expecting some rain today to hit us, and luckily it held off for all of the FPO round. So, on our second feature card today, we've got Sarah Hokom, and she placed 6th last year at DGLO. Following her, we have Jessica Weese, who placed 18th last year and is currently 9th in DGPT Tour rank.
And next up, Mertsch, who placed 9th last year at DGLO. I saw that skirt pop up on my Instagram feed.
Oh yeah.
And then rounding out the card, we have Holyn Handley, who got herself a top 10 finish here at last year's DGLO.
Yeah, that skirt popped up on mine too.
Here we are starting off with this beautiful, massive hole 1, 516-foot downhill par 3, surrounded by out of bounds, left, right, all the way around behind the basket. Today, we have the pin position on the right, but it will be changing tomorrow, and then again back to the right side on one of the other
final
days.
Day.
Yes. So today you're looking to get a shot that finishes in the middle, in bounds. Maybe a 2.
2 would be great.
Sarah Hokom.
Sarah going with the forehand off the tee, swings it just wide enough, and she's in great position. Sometimes with the sidearm, people will saw it off a little bit and find that right side OB.
Jessica Weese, proficient in both backhand and sidearm, including beautiful anhyzers, so it's going to be fun watching her attack the course today. Sidearm off the tee for Jess.
Not sure if that one's going to come back, but I'm really hoping it does.
Ugh. Just pulled it a little too far to the left. It didn't hook back inbounds.
Looking like we're probably going to have four sidearms off the tee on hole 1. Kat keeping hers low, probably just going for a bit of a safer play.
She's in bounds.
From Grapevine, Texas, Holyn Handley.
Oh, I like that shirt.
I love that shirt.
Neon.
She doesn't she didn't wear a lot of colorful stuff last year. And even she told me when she bought that shirt, she's like, I don't know. And then it turned into like her favorite shirt.
I can see why. It's my favorite shirt too. Look at this sidearm, man. She is so good.
She has a lot of power.
Wow.
Getting herself into circle 2. Actually, both circle 2s. If she does that every day, she'll have a circle 2 put at the basket.
So this is Jessica Weese's 3rd shot after going OB off the tee. So she's going to have to play for bogey unless she throws it in. She has an 18-foot putt for a bogey.
Kat Mertsch with the sidearm approach.
Oh, and it's trickling towards the OB, but it's still safe. That OB is right next to the basket. I'd say 18 feet away on the right side.
Hokom hitting the base, so she'll have a tap-in par.
Yeah, caddy high five. I like that. Holyn Handley has a look at a birdie, too.
Ooh.
What a brave bid on hole 1.
Yeah, I love to see that. There are a lot of elevated pins on this course and pins on a hill. So running some of these deep putts are definitely riskier here.
Jessica Weese gets her bogey putt to drop here on hole 1. Holyn with a 15-foot comeback for par. She's in.
Kat Mertsch making good on her par.
Sarah Hokom dropping in a par as well here on the first.
Hole 2, we have a par 4, 426 feet. This hole goes pretty much straight up until the last 60 to 80 feet as you get toward the basket. Most players are just trying to throw more of like a stable disc that lands you in the center. If you can really pump it, you'll get to the beginning of this sunlight and leave yourself with maybe a 200-foot approach. This high pin here is actually the pin we'll be playing tomorrow, so today they are playing to the back basket. No OB around this hole on the left or right, just tricky footing and some thorns.
Sarah Hokom with a shorter conservative shot landing in the fairway.
The nice thing about this fairway is that both sides have a slope, so even if you were to hit the left or the right, I see a lot of players roll back into flat footing.
Kat is on that left side area that's raised up a bit, and it's actually not bad over there.
So there's Holyn catching that left side berm and kicking into flat ground.
Jessica Weese with a forehand off the tee. Bit of a cut roll, but she's in the middle. Say everyone's in good position where they could attack for a birdie 3.
Yeah, I feel like they cleared a lot of this out from last year. Kat getting to the top of the hill in the whiskers for tomorrow's basket, but that'll leave her a flat C2 bid.
Tomorrow's whiskers. We sidearm off the tee. The wind is picking up today. We're expecting 20 to 40 mile an hour gusts, and it's really random. Weese is over there on the left side. That's going to be a really long putt for her. And Hokom makes it to the top of the hill, and she's got a 38-footer for birdie.
Over the bees. Holyn in really good position to approach the basket.
Holyn's drive was so far that she just did a standstill to get to the top of the pin, and she went past the pin. If you've ever played this course, you know how impressive that is. Jessica doesn't really have a putt per se, plus it's windy, it's an elevated basket, so she goes for a safe layup.
Hard to tell if that one was a full commitment on the bid or just
It's like a halfie.
a far layup. Oh, Holyn going really high in the chains, and it doesn't want it.
Yeah, these chains just seem a bit heavier. They just sound different than most chains.
I do. Well, especially after last weekend at Idlewild. Weese grabbing a par. This course is a lot of, if you're out of position, the pars are at the distances where you can just play it safe, and you really only have a chance for the birdie if you succeeded in like aggressive off the tee. That'll be a par for Hokom and for Mertsch.
Everyone's sitting at even except for Weese, who is currently 1 over par, as we head into the third. Welcome back, Ace Runners. Hole 3, another fun downhill. Our first par 5, 915 feet, out of bounds right side, and it is a vortex for discs over there. Oh my. Out of bounds left side. The out of bounds just keeps going all the way up around the basket. Your first shot could be giant, landing right about here. That'll leave you about 260 into the pin, which will give you an eagle look. Otherwise, you can be more conservative off the tee, perhaps a mid, keep it short and in the middle, and chip your way up to the green and play for birdie or par. Sarah Hokom up first.
This is an interesting hole, being a par 5 and having a downhill opportunity off the tee, because if you get aggressive and succeed, you can have that look at eagle or a very easy birdie. But it's also the kind of hole where if you go OB, you can save the par. And so, surprisingly enough, this was like the 8th most difficult hole today, because you were one or the other.
Sarah Hokom's forehand, which was a bit nose down moving towards the left side, actually cut rolled from out of bounds back inbounds. And Kat Mertsch has a perfect shot.
Yeah, her excitement should be matched by everybody. That was amazing.
Looked like a halo Hawkeye. Gonna need a closer look at it to be sure.
Holyn not turning that one as much as she wanted to,
It's
so
a
hopefully
bit
that sits
high.
down. Yeah.
It's a bit nose up and high to be inbounds, and she is out of bounds on the left side. On this tee shot, you really need to throw downhill unless you're using something understable, but in this kind of wind, understable could be dangerous.
Yeah, a lot of players go too understable and they get into that right area, which is much harder to find your disc. If you're going to go OB, I say go left.
You can see Weese also did not throw nose down. She just threw straight across, and the disc hyzered OB. All right, first up we have Sarah Hokom with her second shot.
Good control by Sarah. A change on this one from last year is the rough on the right side where the sign was safe last year. And this year it plays as OB, so your second shot, you have to have more control and land in that narrow part. Well, it's not really that narrow, it's very wide, but still get close.
This is Weese's third shot after going OB off the tee. This will be Holyn's third shot as well after OB off the tee. Ooh, I like that.
Had a feeling Holyn would try and bite off more distance there. Great shot.
Another visual difficulty is that the out-of-bounds line is significantly far away from the advertisement paywall. So in the past years, we use the paywall as the out-of-bounds visual, and it just seems to be that it's widening between the two.
This is Mertsch's second shot.
In the bullseye.
She is in the bullseye
looking
after
at
2.
eagle.
Eagles are exciting, and you know what else is exciting? We're going to do a giveaway.
I love
for every
giveaways.
round of this tournament. To enter the giveaway, we're just going to ask you a question for you to answer in the comments. And today we're wondering, when you're on the course, do you prefer ice in your water bottle, or do you like it more room temperature? So if you put that in the comments, you'll be able to win one of my Tour Series Chameleon Ice Convicts.
And they're beautiful. I have one right behind me here.
They are pretty, if I do say so myself.
So this is Holyn's birdie putt.
Oh, giving that a nice run. She was deep circle too, so that's a good bid.
Hokom misses her birdie opportunity.
Oh, no.
That's a heartbreaker.
It looked like the flags behind her almost were like tailwinds, so I bet she thought that was going to drop.
Kat
Eagle!
Mertsch with an eagle. Love an eagle. Or as I like to call it, a schmeagle.
Oh. Why do you call it a schmeagle?
Because I love Lord of the Rings.
Okay. I have a Lord of the Rings metal mini.
I haven't seen that. I'm going to need
Oh,
to
I'll
see
have
that.
to show you, yeah. Unfortunately, that is a bogey for Hokom, and then Jessica grabbed a par. And so did Holyn.
And with that eagle, Kat Mertsch is now 2 under par for the round. You can hear that wind just picking up.
Hole 4, par 4, 508 feet. Off the tee, you mainly see two options, which is to take a wide hyzer route around the pine tree, or to flex something or sidearm through this left side. Ideally, you will land in this sun patch between the trees because you have the highest ceiling of guardian trees to get up to the basket. If you're in good position, it's a fairly simple approach up this tiered hill, but you don't want to push it too far because then you will roll down the hill.
Two options off the tee, a straight shot with a bit of a right turn or a massive spike hyzer. Kat Mertsch takes the straight route. Looks like she's in good position as long as she's not pinched off too far on the right side. You can throw too far on this shot. Just like Holyn's going, if she goes too far, you actually have no look at all.
It's true. Unless she goes all the way past these pine trees that you can see right here, low ceiling, very grabby. So you have to either go all the way past or be shy by about 30 feet.
Jessica Weese,
Ooh, that's going to be nice.
She gets caught up in the trees, but it's actually
I still
in
think
a
that's
great
nice.
position.
I don't believe in nicing people because you already let go of the disc, so it was going to happen anyway. That's a beautiful shot by Hokom.
I know, I was like, I'm going to hit that same tree.
First up, Kat Mertsch.
This right side is really nice for the backhand turnover. It's just so much more open. She undercommits a little bit, but she'll still be just inside the circle for her putt.
Weese in a great position.
I don't know. I thought she was going to go right side of that tree.
She does a forehand hyzer, and she makes it to that second, 1.5 tier. It's going to be a long putt.
Hokom going higher, but catching a branch, so she's going to be on the same level.
Yeah, that's about a 40-foot uphill putt you do not want to go past. So we'll see who's brave enough to go for that one.
So Holyn did get far enough past the pine trees.
All the way past it and had a nice hyzer chip up, and she's right inside the circle.
Decent. Always wants more.
Hokom gives it a bid for birdie, and with her very forgiving putt, it just lost gas right by the basket.
Yeah.
Weese tries to give that.
I like when she does the
Annie bid. Me too.
I always think she released it early or messed up, and then it's always exactly where she was going. Holyn catching left chain.
It looks like she kind of did more of a nose up and not as flat as sometimes that she does. Maybe because of
the hill, I assume.
Exactly. This is Mertsch for bird. It's in.
Well done, Kat.
And with that birdie, Mertsch is now 3 under par.
A par for Weese. And then we'll have 2 tap-ins here by Handley and Hokom for par. Kat Mertsch with a great last 2 holes, having her starting at 3 down.
Hole 5. I love this one.
This is one of my favorite holes.
A wooded par 3, 480 feet, nice and downhill with a beautiful grassy fairway. If you have the perfect disc, you can get all the way to circle 1 for a putt, but a lot of people are happy landing right about here, pitching up and playing for par. Also seen players be very conservative and do a shorter mid, about 280, and then another couple 100-foot shot, take a par and move on to the next. Kat Mertsch up first after a birdie on hole 4. Ooh, that's a good downhill angle.
Courses like this are so fun to watch because you really get to see who knows their discs well when it comes to elevation.
Halo Hawkeye for Kat Mertsch. She's up there putting. Holyn with a much higher shot.
Worked out,
didn't it?
I will say on this fairway, if you end up in the right trees, there really isn't that much thick stuff in your way. Like you can find a line.
Weese's shot was turning over to the right side, clipped a tree, and now she is back in the fairway.
I like seeing the contrast of players who throw like overstable Annie down the hills and then players who go super understable and they hyzer flip so that it can flip up, get the turn, and then still slow down at the end of the hill. And you just get beautiful flights on courses like this. Holyn going with a standstill approach with a skip up to the basket.
Perfect. Bullseye. Weese is pinched off a bit on the left side, so she has a standstill hyzer. Angle looks aggressive, but she's up there looking at a par putt. Ooh.
Very nice. Hokom going with the layup. She'll be just outside the bullseye.
Cat Mertsch from 80 feet. Nice little step putt.
Hits the base. Ooh, just trying to save her par there. Hits the top of the basket, so she'll have a bogey putt.
Caddy likes it. Weese in for bogey here on hole 5. Hokom's in for par from bullseye's edge.
And Holyn with her par. Cat Mertsch will also card a par for this hole.
Cat Mertsch, currently the only player under par here on this card, and Holyn Handley sitting at even.
Hole 6, par 4, 419 feet. Most players, or most of the players I've seen, will play something short like a mid or a putter up to this gap here, which gives you an easy, flat ground second approach over the trench into the basket, still with a look for birdie. There is an aggressive forehand flex shot, and the trench really isn't too bad of a place to be, so some players will try and push all the way down into the gully and then play a turnover or forehand shot into the basket. The green is very fast, though.
Mertsch up first after a birdie on hole 4. She went for a safe layup.
If you go for this layup, Holyn's is looking a little bit better for placement. You want to try and get left. If you push too far straight without hyzering out, there's a lot more trees in your way. There are still like 2 mini lines, but they're tighter.
Hokom's forehand turnover is in a great position. She leaks right over the edge of the hill, but not too far down.
Just going with a much higher approach, but I think she was just trying to get it to maybe spike at the end. Catches a branch, but she should still be in just fine position for a forehand approach. Oh, looks great. Ooh. Catches a tree, and not sure how far down the hill she'll be.
Cat Mertsch over on the right side going for a standstill putter and hyzer. The angle looks beautiful, and she doesn't quite get the angle tight enough, so she's clicked over to the woods on the left side. They'll be easy to play for par. She might have a birdie putt if she wants to run it.
Holyn using the fast green to get a skip in toward the basket. She'll still have about 22 feet. Hokom going with a little forehand flex right up into the bullseye.
CTP upshot for Hokom.
For pretty much everyone out in this field, this kind of feels like a birdie get.
This is Cat Mertsch for birdie from 45. That's actually way longer than 45. I'm going to go for 60 on that.
Giving it a good bid, hitting the base. And Holyn in for her birdie. Hokom with a tap-in birdie.
Weese taking a par.
That's nice. I couldn't tell earlier when she hit the tree if it went down the hill or if it was on top, so.
And Cat Mertsch with a par. With that birdie, Holyn Handley is now under par. Sarah Hokom at even, and Weese at 2 over. Let's check out hole 7, a par 4, 538 feet out of bounds on the right side from the tee all the way along the fairway. Your shot should land on the top of this hill right about here, which will give you between 290 and 240 into the green, depending on where you land. If you hyzer too much on your upshot, you can go into the hill. It is a little hairy over there, so 2 straight shots should get you a birdie opportunity. Holyn Handley up first. It looks low out of the hand.
Should get a little skip. Not too much.
It's not bad, but it could be difficult to get into the bullseye from there for a birdie look. I prefer to not have an uphill run up.
I agree. And a lot of players won't even opt for the run-up. They'll go with a standstill.
Yes.
Makes it a lot harder to get that control on your second shot.
Cat Mertsch working this Halo Hawkeye. Perfect shot.
Beautiful.
Over the top of the hill. Premium landing position.
Jessica turning hers over a little bit, but yeah, that's fine. That's a good angle to go into the hill. So this is that standstill we were talking about with Holyn here. So you can't really see the basket from where she is. Like, she can't. But it is safe on the left side. It's hairy. There are some thorns over there, but you are not out of bounds.
And from there, she could give it a long putt if she wanted, or pitch up and play for par. See that turnover from Sarah? She did need that to come out. Oh, Sarah Hokom's out of bounds, unfortunately, from her second shot. And Weese was in a great position.
So good.
Weese is up there at the circle's edge looking at a birdie putt.
Yay!
Cat Mertsch had the best drive here.
Oh, she yanked it.
She said she did it again.
All right. You hear that? If you're not into witchcraft, now's the time. Hokom just laying up.
Yeah, fourth shot, so she'll have to play for a drop-in bogey.
Holyn is on the edge, so she'll give it a run.
That was actually a good spot she landed.
Yeah, I thought she was going to be a little bit deeper in there.
Cat's up there. Didn't quite get the birdie op to drop, but she's got a drop-in par.
Birdie for Jess. She leaves that low and right. This did play the 7th most difficult hole today, but a lot of people were just getting pars, although we did have 2 birdies on the day, which included Holly Finley, and Missy Gannett. Well done.
Thank you. I threw the same disc twice.
That's my play on this hole, if I execute it, is the same disc twice.
All right, we've got Hokom with the bogey, Weese with the drop-in par, Mertsch with the drop-in par, and Holyn Handley with the drop-in par. Mertsch 3 under, Holyn 1 under.
Hole 8, 390 feet. This is a par 4. They added OB from last year. This entire left side was open, so if you had bailed out on your drive, it wasn't too much of an issue. This year, you need to have a little more control and either a forehand off the tee or maybe an understable disc that you can just turn around the pine. If you land level with the pine, that's fine too. It leaves you with a fairly short approach up into the hill. This one feels like a 3 that everyone wants to get because it's not that far and you just have to keep that first shot in bounds. That's a great shot from Holyn. I love the height on the sidearm.
Around the tree is premium. I mean, she got pinned deep with the Spikeiser sidearm.
Yeah.
That was really good.
That's what we like to call ideal.
That was elite level shot out of Holyn. Kat taking a similar line, not quite as far and high, but still an amazing shot. She's around that big evergreen.
Just gonna catch some branches.
Oh, and the evergreen caught her disc.
I was gonna say branches are gonna catch the disc instead.
You catch me, I'll catch you. I do the catching around here.
Sarah Hokom with a solid sidearm.
Oh. Weese has to get on a knee to play from underneath this evergreen, and she's kind of pinched off on the right side, but her forehand
Beautiful
makes
shot.
Easy work of that. And she's up there putting for par.
Putting for birdie.
Birdie.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Her, Hokom, Kat, all in pretty easy birdie position. Holyn could even try for some little frisky eagle. I don't think she will because the green is a little tricky. But nice layup there from Kat. All those discs just having a party.
Come on, Holyn.
Yeah, throw it in.
Oh, Holyn.
That's fine. I'll forgive her. Look, she's upset about it. She's got her hand on her hips.
All right. Sarah Hokom makes her birdie putt. I mean, well, how many eagle opportunities are you realistically getting out here? Especially on a safe putting
Including
green
aces?
like that.
Well,
No, I was not including aces. All right, Weese got her birdie putt in as well as Holyn Handley. That leaves Kat Mertsch. And that is a
star frame.
Yay! Birdies for everyone.
So nice. You get a birdie.
You get a birdie?
No. I did a dumb. It's okay.
At Discraft, we don't wait to see what the future holds. We build it. The future is in your hands.
Welcome back to hole 9, a par 3, 472 feet, another fun downhill. No out of bounds to really worry about on this hole. The only difficulty would be if you sort of have an early release, saw off your shot, and end up on the left short, which is really difficult to find a disc. Otherwise, the perfect shot should get you inside the circle, putting for a birdie too. I'd say that hole 3's drive could be very similar to this one. Holyn Handley up first.
That looks beautiful.
About a 45-footer for Holyn.
I feel like that is really where the best drives do land. It's difficult to get into this circle, especially with the wind that they're dealing with.
And Kat Mertsch does not throw a downhill angle. She throws more of a hyzer flip straight out and across. So she hyzers out left, but fortunately it is past those bushes and such. So
oh yeah,
should be an easy find.
Nice shot from Weese.
She'll have a 55-foot putt for birdie.
I will say on that left side, if you hyzer out or saw it off, it's difficult to find the disc, but once you do, it is pretty open as an approach to the basket. You might not be able to see the basket because you're downhill, but it's a fairly textbook, like hyzer approach or forehand hyzer approach.
Cat Mertsch with a little chip shot into the green.
With them elevating this basket this year, I think even with players getting just outside the edge of the circle, having the downhill putt, you're really only going to see really gutsy or confident people going for that birdie putt.
I went for it today.
Oh, I'm sure you did. How did it go?
I only hit 2 chains on the left side, so it didn't stay in. And Holyn, look at her. She's gutsy. She's confident. And she says, nuh-uh, She lays it up.
It's a risky one. It's amazing how fast birdie looks can turn to bogey saves on a course like this with all of the hill greens and elevated baskets.
Cat Mertsch gets her par putt in here on the 9th, and that leaves her at 4 under for the front 9. Sarah Hokom will take a par, putting her at even. I like Holyn's face after she laid that up.
I know.
No thanks.
Like, we all know we hate the layup, but we know we have to do it sometimes.
Smart golf is good
There
golf.
were no birdies on that hole today.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the day.
And the next day and the next one.
And all of the other days that we have here.
That was a fun front 9 here at Toboggan.
Don't forget to comment and leave, answer us if you like ice or no ice in your water bottles for a chance to win that Convict. Check in on the leaderboard. Lukia here is 5 down through 15. She is leading the tournament. Love to see it. And Owen Scoggins and Cat Mertsch close behind.
Appreciate you guys tuning in to this front 9. And again, if you want to win a disc, that is actually Raven's disc. Get your comment in right now. And while you're online, you can go head on over to Another Round Disc Golf.
Yes.
And you can find some custom Holly Finley discs, and also they have some Raven Klein discs.
They do, and you can bottom stamp with both my logo and Holly's logo on the same disc if you want.
Yeah, you do want
It's
that.
a deal.
It's the best deal of a lifetime.
It is.
All right, so appreciate you guys tuning in. We will see you on the back half.